Welcome back, everybody. This is JP Trades. Let's dive into another altcoin update for AVAX. Let's first take a look at the monthly time frame. Everything is looking a little bit bearish. Of course, this did not make such a large retracement like Solana did into this previous range. And we have swept the lows with this wick, sweeping these lows back to the start. And we do see that this Wyckoff Model 2 distribution did play out, taking us back to the range low. Let's move on to the weekly. Nothing's really going to change in any time frame because of this large wick. This large wick has messed up structure. So everything before this wick, on the left side of this wick, is just pretty much irrelevant at this point. So now we have to use this as our fresh low and this as our fresh high. Now, we have a long way to go to get to this high, a shorter distance to get to this low. Could we see this low being swept? Again, you're going to have to pay attention to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is leading all these, well, most of altcoins, not all altcoins. Some altcoins do tend to move on their own in certain ways. As far as a high time frame narrative, not looking great. We're still just kind of caught in this range here, where again you have range high and range low. It's got to figure something out, right? So, first move, in my opinion, if we start heading down, would be to SFP this low. Come down, wick through it, come back in. Very, very simple. Let's go to the daily. And now that we have our main structure high and low here and here, and let's just go ahead and draw that in. So now you have your high and low. So this is your focus point, right? Let's go ahead and turn on order blocks here. We have a lot of order blocks for the day traders out there. And this is a very nice section of this range to consider long. But from the daily time frame, there's really nothing to talk about. We need to go dissect down to the 4 hour. And we see the same thing kind of cooking up in the same way as Bitcoin did. And if you look at my Solana update, same thing. So let's draw that idea in. And this is the idea behind trading altcoins, right? Is that a lot of them do the same thing. And I will do a update on some altcoins that don't necessarily follow Bitcoin. So we have something with different type of structure to it, because all the altcoins that follow Bitcoin to a T are all going to have pretty much the same setups, the same structure. Kind of makes it easy across the board. Some things look better than others. You might get different market structure shifts at different point than others, but it also kind of makes it a little bit boring. So we're going to dive into something like, I don't know, Tron, TRX, that has very different structure. However, this is the point of 3 idea, just like Solana. So we're going to name this 4 hour, hour 3. I like it. So let's do some volume in here. Then you have the value area low right above your manipulation zone. So I would want to see price come up, probably end up hitting this order block here with the point of control, come down. Hopefully we get that bounce at the value area low to then take this range rotation or to the rotation of the technical target of your power of 3. Now let's keep checking where our volume's coming in on the bigger picture. So we've already kind of broken into that value area low there. And let's take it from the last high before the dump. So that's actually pretty nice. It's still holding up pretty well as far as the value area. It's not like a deep deviation of that value area or anything, so it doesn't look too scary yet. That could change. Yeah, same here as well. You do have a high volume node that stands out really well right here in this order block. I would be watching for that for a nice short for sure. But again, this is this order block around these prices. I'm not going to say the prices. I do not consider price. I don't look at anything like that in that way. I look at it from level to level because that's what truly matters, not price. And I have a video coming out on that as well, and why, and more of a in-depth video of why I never really say price levels. Why I never talk about them. I could hide this entire axis over here, black all of these prices out. I don't need price. So we have our power 3 play on the 4 hour. It's looking nice. Let's see what else we can see on a lower time frame. Let's go down to the 30-minute time frame now and just kind of plan out some other areas. We are getting our hit into this supply zone. We have SFP this high once. We're SFPing that high right now. That's looking kind of nice. So I could see maybe something like this happen. We break some low time frame structure, come back down here, break that structure only to go higher. Take out this high, maybe build structure in here, get a little deeper into that area, come back down, retest the high of this demand and to go even higher. So what I would advise you to do is to set alerts. All right, so that is set up. We got everything set on AVAX. So again, run through it, sweep these lows, wick in, back up. We do happen to come back up into this order block. I want to see that another nice SFP back down. We could sweep this high and go into this order block and come down. All of these are very nice levels to look at. However, if we cannot really close above this supply and this supply does its job, I'm looking for this to maintain. However, I wouldn't look to take out this low unless we were to take out VWAP and then flip this demand. So if I was getting involved here, I would first look here, see what happens there, and not just trade this blindly taking it to here. Everything's contextual in trading. It's discretionary. You have to trade with your own discretion, and you have to learn that through experience. So again, if we start coming up, this is going to be your 4-hour high right here. We start breaking above that. Again, I want to see this entire liquidity wave swept. Remember, power of 3. So if you have shorts from these areas, just realize they might only be a short scalp. Come up to this area and then this area. This is the strongest short zone in this area. If you break above this high, I would accept an SFP of all these highs into this area, but you'd have to come back down into that zone. Because if you don't, you're breaking above that high, you're breaking high time frame structure. So you're creating a bullish market structure shift at that point, which is basically saying, shift that, come up in a higher time frame context. So that is where I'm going to leave you all in AVAX. You got your levels, you got your ideas, you got your context. Be safe. Wait for your confirmations. I'll update you on the Discord.